Okay, we'd like to work on this first assignment and learn how to use GitHub to do version control on our files. So if you're on the website, the Python Jedi website, and you go to Jedi Younglings and go to version control, we're going to be doing most of what this says right here. So we're going to click on the Chapter 1 Intro assignment. That's going to take you to my organization account on GitHub. And what we want to do is we want to fork this over to our remote GitHub account, our individual GitHub account. So that part is easy. Forking is easy. You just come here and you click on the fork. And it says, where should we fork this intro assignment? You're going to click on your account so that it'll put a copy of that on your local or your remote account. Forking CSP UHS intro assignment. And so when it gets done, you'll see that you are now on your account and you have a copy of this thing. So that's all we need to do for that right there. So we can go into PyCharm, and we're going to go up to VCS, and there's a couple options. You go to Git, and then you can go down to Clone, or you can just go to VCS, check out from version control Git. Kind of either way is either or, I guess. So this is as a clone repository, and so I need to get the URL to my repository on GitHub that I have just forked. And if I click in there, I see, well, that's all my organization stuff. You wouldn't have this. There it is. There's my username, chapter 1 intro assignment.git. So I'm going to click that. And I'm going to click this to decide where I want to put this stuff. And I have my Python Jedi folder, and I have chapter 1. I'm going to click open. I'm going to make a new folder there instead in my Python Jedi. I'm going to call it chapter 01A so that I can put this, I can clone this repository down to my computer. And the reason that there's only one file in this entire repository, and that's because I want you to eventually pull request it, and you can't really pull request individual parts of a repository. I just want to be able to accept the whole thing. So that's why we have just one file in the repository. Anyway, you get the Git URL and you put it where you're going to put it, and you click clone. And would you like to open the directory users from Python? Yes, I would like to. I'm going to check it out from version control. I'm going to open the current window. I'm just going to add to the currently opened projects, which I have up here. So that'll actually put in a chapter 01A right there. And so now what I can do is I can open up this assignment, intro GitHub VCS. And so what happens here is that every student, you're going to be assigned a student number, and you're going to have 10 lines of code that you can do some things with. I'm going to come down and work on like student 25 since we don't have that many. And on this file, I'm going to type in, by the way, so there's 3 apostrophes here, 3 quotations and 3 single quotations there. Anything inside that is not active Python code. It's just like a big doc string or a comment. So all we're really doing is typing some text inside these 2 things. So you're going to go to your student number, and on the first line, you get 10 lines of code. So in this first line here, I'm going to type something like, this is the master branch. I want us to understand branching and how we can do version control on this. So once I do that, I'm going to, PyCharm automatically saves all these things, but what we can do every once in a while is do what we call a commit. And a commit is kind of like a hard save, and it's like it puts a checkpoint on the file, and you can talk about kind of what you've done at that point. And so the checkpoints, all the commits are saved with the file. It's virtually magic. Okay, so the way you commit, there's several ways you can commit. You could do a VCS. Let's see, how do we do it up here? Git, and then commit file. That's a big long thing. An easier way to do it is come here and click the green check mark. But the way I like to do it is keyboard stroke. So it's Command K. So if I hit Command K, it's going to commit this. And so what I want to actually do is just unhighlight all the other things. So just make sure that the chapter 1, 1.1 GitHub VCS is committed. I'm going to highlight that so I can see. And And let's see, is that, no, that's not, I don't want to be in chapter 1. I want to be in chapter 1A. Ooh, that was close. Okay, so, and so I have the intro GitHub thing done right there. Okay, so I want to do a commit message here. I could say like first commit. Okay, first commit. Let's see, side by side. Let's see, I don't want to highlight. I want to be, again, yeah, highlight on this. Yeah, highlight. So I have chapter 1A repository is what I'm committing, but I want to highlight on this thing so I can see what down here is. It's a diff file. It's called a diff file. And so it shows on the left side what it was like, and now it shows what I'm changing over here on the right. So you can kind of see quickly the differences between what you're about ready to commit. So I'm gonna put first commit. You can put your author in here. I would start typing in like your username, and then you can just select it. Just kind of double click it there so it goes in there. And we're going to commit. So I'm going to click a commit. Okay, so that just made a commit there. Okay, so here's where the magic begins. If you come down here on the bottom right, you'll see Git : and then it says master, because you're on a master branch. The first branch that you have, it's not really a branch. The first main program you have is called the master. But what I can do is I can click on that, and it's going to pop up here. And you'll see here it says common local branches, and it says master. That's the one I'm on. Common remote branches, that'll be like out there on your GitHub account. That won't change. But I can come here and I can click plus new branch. So I can add a new branch. And I'm going to call this branch like testing 1. Whoops, I guess I've already used it somewhere. Testing 2. I'll call it testing 2. And I'm going to have the checkout branch already check marked. Okay. So it's going to move me to that branch. So I'm going to click OK. And you didn't really see anything change. But the key is if you look down here, the Git, it says testing 2. So that's how I know what branch I'm on. Now, if I click that again, you'll see that right now there's a little ticket next to testing 2. And that's because it's the one that's checked out. Earlier, the little ticket symbol was next to the master, so it was the one that was checked out. So right now I'm on testing 2, and I'm going to change this to this is the testing branch instead. Okay, and I'm going to do Command K. I want to commit that, and I can just say testing branch. Okay. Right. And if I click on, let's see, I don't want that. Make sure it's just chapter 1A, that one. That's the one I want. So I can click the intro, and you can see that I'm changing master branch to testing branch, and I'm going to commit that. Okay. So it looks like it changed it. Now, watch this. If you come back down here and you click on it, and we're going to check out the master again. So I click on master. I come over here to check out. And now I'm on the master, and if you look, it still says this is the master branch. Very interesting. So I'm going to type in me. I'll just type in me, and I'm going to commit. We're going to do a lot of committings here. Okay. And I'm going to put in like me for my commit message. I'm not even going to put it in the author anymore. Okay. And I unfortunately have to keep unclicking this. I'm not sure why about that. Okay. So there's the differences, and I'm going to commit that. Okay. And now that did that. So now let's come down here and let's check out the testing 2 branch again. And you'll notice it's still back what it was on the testing branch. See that? Okay, so it's saving all this right in the same file. You don't have to go make a duplicate of your file and then change stuff and then take that and copy it into it. It does all this through Git, this version control. It's amazing. So I'm going to type in my name, and I'm going to commit and name. Commit that. Okay. I'm going to put my favorite color. Favorite color is blue. I'm gonna commit that. You don't have to commit every time, but I'm trying to make a point here, so we're gonna commit a whole bunch of times here. Okay, I'll commit that. Okay, and so what I want to do here is let's go ahead and check out the test or the master again. Master checkout, and see if this is what we still had back on our master, right? So I'll do another thing. What is your favorite color? I'm going to commit that. Color question mark? Okay, whatever. Commit. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to come up to VCS Git, and I want to look at show history. Okay, look at this. So here's the history. So it shows all the different commits you've been doing lately. See, all these different commits. Click on log. You get the log here, and you'll see that there's some things in here in the middle that's going to be a little confusing. But what I had here is here's the first commit, and then I did a testing branch, and then I went back to the master and I put in a commit on me, and then I went back here and I put my name in, right? And then I did color, and then I went back to the master branch and I did question mark color, and so it tracks these different pathways here. Is what I'm trying to show you. Okay, so I'm going to leave that open. I'm going to put in here, I don't know, something. Just type in something. This is interesting. Okay, and I'm going to commit that. Okay, and we watch. And interesting. And I'm going to click commit. And see it, but another commit on that one. Okay, now let's go over to the testing branch. Check it out. Check out the testing branch. And let's write something interesting about yourself. So I have 4 children, ages 10 to 27. Okay, and I'm going to commit that. Okay, and put in a message. And commit. Okay, and you'll see that it did. It put another commit on this particular line. So I have 2 development paths going through here. So it's really, really interesting. And you can do things in your testing branch that you like and test it and stuff, and not affect your master branch code until you want to take all that and put it in it. And there's 2 ways you could do it. You could just copy this and go to your master and then paste it in and just continue on your master branch. Or what we can do is we can merge this branch back into this other one. So what I'm going to do, and to do that, you need to be on the branch that you're going to merge into. So I need to check out the master again. I'm going to check out the master. And I'm going to come up to VCS, Git, and I want to merge changes. Merge changes. And it says the current branch you're on is master, and it says the branch is to merge, and there's only one branch. Now, I guess I should have showed you that. I could come down here and I could click plus new branch, and I could do it some other branches. Then I'd have a whole bunch of branches going along out here. But I'm going to click that because I want to merge that. I'm just going to type in a little commit messaging here, merging testing 2 into master. And I'm going to click merge. Okay. And so there's a thing here, and it's going to say, accept yours, accept theirs, or merge. And we're going to go ahead and click merge. Okay. And what it's going to do is it's going to show you here at the beginning is the first commit I did on the master branch. So this is before I made any testing branch. Once I made a testing branch, that's over here. This is all the testing 2 branch. Over here is the branch master. After I made it, right? After I made the branch, this is what's happened on the master branch ever since the split. Okay, so I have so I want actually this to be merged onto my original master. So I can click accept right. I can accept the right one. Okay, and it's going to merge in there. Okay. I'm going to have to show my loggy in here. So now what I'm going to do now is you'll notice I'm on the master branch, but all my stuff was brought in here. mean, I could have just copied it in. That might have been easier, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to commit this, and I'm going to say merged. Commit, and look what it does on the log. You can see what it does in the log. So here's where I had this thing going along here, and then I did a testing branch, and I've committed, and I came back to the master, and I committed, and I went to the testing, I committed, did another commit, came back to the master, I committed, and then I did another commit, went back to the testing, did another commit, and then I finally merged that back into the thing. So now I only have one flow that's going on here. Don't worry about this other one out here. That was some kind of a testing branch from somewhere else way down here a couple years ago, actually. Let's see, 2019 is when all that kind of started, because I've been still using the same file over and over again for each year. Okay, so that's how you can do testing and version control and then merge something back into the master. Okay, so now what I want to do is if I go out to GitHub, go out to my GitHub account on this thing, you'll see here's the original thing. And you'll see when the last time this file has been updated was 5 hours ago. That wasn't by me. That was by somewhere else. And so just because I've been making all these changes, I haven't been doing it on this remote account. I've been doing it here on my computer in the local account. So what I want to do is I want to push this code out to here, out to my remote GitHub thing, because eventually I want to pull it over, or I want to ask a pull request from Mr. Herman to pull the code into everything else. So how do I push? How do I push? Okay, so if you remember, commit was Command K. Push is Shift Command K. So it not only does a commit, but it also pushes it out to your remote repository. And you don't always need to push all the time. I would generally commit all the time, but then you push when you're ready to put it all back out there on the account. So I'm going to do Shift Command K, and it shows you all the commits that we've just done on this. Okay, and everything looks all right. And I'm going to click Push. And down here at the bottom, it'll actually right underneath where it'll say pushing. And then it says push successful. That's good. So if I go out here and look at this, if I refresh this page here, there it is, okay? It says the first commit, that was 15 minutes ago. It times when I actually made the commit, not when I just pushed. Okay, so I made a commit here, that was 5 minutes ago, okay? That was the last commit I made right there. It was 5 minutes ago. So now it's actually on here, okay? So I've pushed all that out to the remote repository. And that's what you want to do with all your code all year long. You want to eventually push it out there. And if you want me to check it, then what you do is you ask for a pull request on this repository. And you'll see right here it says pull request. So you're going to click pull request. And it's going to come up here, and what it's going to do, because Git tracks everything. See, it knows that you got this originally from the base repository on my organization. There it is. And then the head repository, the thing you forked, is right here on yours. So it's going to take this, and there's an arrow, and it's going to try to put it overwrite this code on here. And it says right now it's able to merge. So you haven't overwritten any kind of code that's dangerous. And so when you create the pull request, which we're going to do right now, because it's able to merge, you're going to click Create a Pull Request. And in the title, you're going to put, I want you to put some information. I'd like you to actually put your name. So you can do something like Mark Herman requesting you check my first assignment. Okay. Now you can leave some stuff in the comments, but I like to just put something out in the title because that's what I see when it comes in. I'll show you how that looks in a minute. But I need my first assignment checked, please. Okay. And the reason I want you to do this is because sometimes in a repository, most of the repositories have 3 or 4 or 5 different assignments in it. So if you just get one assignment done and you want to send it to have me check it, then I don't know which part of the repository you need checked. So you actually have to put in here, please just look at assignment 1 or something like that. What I would suggest is go ahead and do all your assignments. And then up here in the title, you can just say, everything in this repository is ready to be checked. And then I just know I need to look at everything and try to check you off. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to create pull request, and that is going to send a pull request to me. Now you'll notice that actually sent us to the organization that I own. So you wouldn't really be able to do anything on here, but you'd be able to see it. And you'll see that I up here right now, it says that I have one pull request. It says I have a pull request. So I'm going to click that pull request, and this is what I would see on my end of the teaching end. So it's going to list all my pull requests down here, and you'll notice that it shows the title. Now, if I hover over it, you can start seeing some of the description there too, but it's just so much easier if I can just see right in the title who you are and what you're requesting for me to look at. Okay, so I'm going to click on this pull request. It's kind of weird because it's actually from me, but it'll work the same way. So I'm going to check on it, and it shows a lot of the commits that this person did. And then down here, I can merge the pull request because it says this branch has no conflicts with the base branch. But what I want to look at is I'm going to click on the files that were changed. And if you come down here, it shows all the different files that are changed. And let's see, where do I find it? Let's see. Well, you'll see that I see over on the left side, it shows what the file is on my organization. Here it shows the lines that are going to be put that are going to overwrite. Okay, and this is a split view. I was going to show you somewhere up here that says split or unified, and I don't know, see where it is right now. I know it's in here somewhere. If you don't see it quite like this, then there's a place somewhere you can check that says that you want to see it split like this, or maybe if you go, oh no, it's not there. I thought it was up here at the top. Oh well, you can see it split view, or you can see it unified view. It's all like looks together. It'll be, green will be things that are going in, and red will be things that are coming out. The split view looks way better. Okay, so you see all this thing right here, and all I have to do is I'll come back here, and I will come here usually, and I'd click merge pull request. I'm not actually going to do that right now, I don't think. I'm just going to leave it. But all I have to do is click merge pull request. That'll take those lines and code and it'll put it in our file. And then every single one of you that do this, I'll merge pull request. And as long as you didn't overwrite somebody else's line, if you stuck to the lines you were supposed to stick on to, then it would just take your lines and add them to the file. And eventually I could show you one whole file that has everybody's code all in it. Everyone was a participant in that one file. So this is how version control works. A lot of software development works this way. And generally all year long, you're going to do every bit of that, except for I won't merge your pull request, because I'm just going to look at your code, see if it's right, and then I would actually, I'll show you what I'll do. I'd actually come down to this box, and I'd say, maybe like look at line 3, it's not quite right, and I click close pull request. Or I'd say everything looks great, I'm going to check it off, and I click close pull request, because that sends an email back to you that you know that I've looked at it, or that you need to look at something and re-pull request it. So you have to pull request it again if you have to make some kind of a change. Okay, that was a lot. I hope that makes sense on how to do some version control in GitHub.